Hey guys, I have been getting a repeated calls and messages from different part of the world saying what's happening with the Bitcoin. Is it moving all the way on upper side, pumping, or is it dumping all the way towards the downside, right? So in this video, right, I'm going to explain whatever I think about the Bitcoin in current situations, right? Okay, but you should know that this is only for the education purpose, nothing much financial advice, right? Dragon is not a certified financial advisor, right, guys? Okay, so let's go. Guys, here it goes, right? So we can see that the market was playing inside the little bit of sideways, right? Okay, so market was playing in the same situations in a bigger time frame, right? Same places, right? It's not moving on upper side or going on a downside, rather it is making some sideways in this levels, right? Okay, so it's playing in the same place, right? Okay, that's what we call sideways, right? Okay, so let's try to now the Bitcoin have from the recent market, right? From the last time, right? Okay, so we can see that market have been moving all the way towards the downside for the Bitcoin, right? Okay, so everyone is thinking for the sell buys, right? Like they are confused now which side now market is going to. Is it a bottom or is it going to be a little bit more towards the downside, or is it a bottom and going to go up an upper side, right? So why people are thinking for the longs also right now, because like now we have gone for so much of downside moves, right? We have given us so much of market have given us so much of downside moves, so right. So everyone is thinking for this view, right? So let me just try to make it easy by making it inverted, right? Okay, I'm making the charts inverted for now, so you can see that the charts are on the opposite directions, right? Okay, now charts I'm trying to study with the levels whereby I can think it for uh think it in a peace zone without confusions, right? Okay, so let's try to go, right? Okay, so we can see that the market is trying to break out towards this little zone, right, towards the downside, right? So let's say downside. Okay, actually that's upper side, but later on we will try to come up, right? So it is retesting in this levels, market try to break out and it is doing a small retest in this levels, right? Okay, guys, so this is what we are checking on, right? So where we have been trading it, right? Okay, so this is levels whereby you can see that market is testing on this levels, right? If it happens to break out from this levels, that's well and good, right, on a daily time frame, right? So we can see a very big move on upper side, but will you think that the market is going to give you breakouts on upper side? If it gives a breakout, that's well and good, then you are going back to some levels on a upper side, all right? Okay, which means a downside right now, right? Okay, so if it gives a breakouts and this levels, right? Okay, so you are getting something like this, but most probably what I'm thinking is market, right? So in these levels we can see that head and shoulder pattern is formed, right? Let's go back to the 4 hours time frame, right? Okay, so I'll try to show you all these things, right? Okay, in these levels, right? So overall the market is in those levels whereby the market have broken out and it is doing the retest, and on the from the retest phase as well we can see that market have tried to break out a little bit on a downside, let's say downside, but that's on upper side, right, towards the upper side, right? Okay, so anyways it have broken out, right? Okay, so in these levels what you can see is in this levels, guys, all right, this is the highest top that we have in this levels, right? Okay, it is trying to make a small head and shoulder pattern in this levels, right, guys, whereby market is playing around in this levels, right? Okay, if it happens to get a rejection from here and breaks out from this levels, then well and good, you are getting a good move on a upper side, right? But most probably this has a good chances as well whereby the market can give you a small move on upper side and fake you out and give you a big liquidations on a downside. So I have been telling you all, right? So inverted a head and shoulder pattern means, right, guys? Okay, head and shoulder pattern, inverted head and shoulder patterns, right? It means that either the market is trying to give you all the way towards the downside, or it can give you a big liquidations over there as well. Okay, so all the W pattern is not for the bullish, right? You should know that. I have been explaining you all the W pattern is not for the bullish, rather people buy over here and expect the price to move on upper side, but sometimes the market can give you a reverse from here and take a big liquidations, those who have buy from this levels as well, right? So we have to check from the both ways, right? Okay, so you have a small inverted head and shoulder patterns in this levels as well, which can make you a big bulls. So you need to observe very well whether if the market happens to clear out on upper side, right, without fake out, right? Okay, that is going to be a good bulls, right? Okay, but if it happens to go for the this from this levels, if the market gets a rejections and try to go for the downside move, give a breakouts rather than getting a breakouts on the downside, if it happens to give you the move, right, breakout small breakouts on upper side, then you'll see a very big liquidation, huge liquidation can also be expected in this levels. This can be observed as well. All right, okay, so you should be very careful in this levels, right? Okay, right now the market is not in a bulls, not in the bears, a little bit, whereby the market is trying to be market have tried to break out on upper side from the retest phase, whereby the market is trying to be a little bit on a bull side. So let me try to invert it, right? So this is levels whereby you can see something like this, right? So we can see a big huge drop on a downside, and market is retesting in this levels, right? Okay, so you can see that if you try to summarize this one, right, so you can see inverted in the head and shoulder pattern over here as well, right? Okay, so which can be acting as a bulls as well as it can act as a big bears, right, whereby liquidating everyone and swapping you all the way towards the downside. So I'm expecting if the market happens to break out from this levels, I can expect a little bit big move on upper side, right? Okay, bob $70,000, right? But in fact, if it happens to fake you out in this levels, then you might be getting a huge liquidations towards the downside, right, guys? Okay, from where I will be planning my setups, right? So most probably, all right, for the this levels will be observation levels. If you are trying to enter, then it's up to you all right. So most probably trying to break below this levels one more time, I will be aiming for the big liquidations on a downside, whereby below this levels I will be looking for the shorter zone, right? But we make sure that when we are planning for the shorter zone, it gives a small breakouts and try to clear that one, then we will get a huge move towards the downside. So this is, I'll be aiming for the liquidation one thing, right? Okay, on the upper side, right, if it happens to give you a breakout, so first levels I won't be able to take it, right? From the second level I can take it on upper side after, so that it will be clear for me, right, whether that is a breakout or not, right? From the second level I will be taking on upper side, whereby I won't be running into the foremost, rather I'll wait confidently, right? So huge move is left on upper side as well. All right, okay, so this is what we can think it for the trend analysis right now. All right, guys, okay, so let me try to invert one more time. All right, so I'll try to explain you all the different views as well, all right, in these levels. Okay, so all right, so let me do this one, right, do away with this one, right? So market was trying to play inside this one, right? Okay, so let's take it as this levels, right? Okay, so market was trying to play on our upper side, and it is getting a repeated whereby market is trying again and again to break out on upper side. This is what we can see is, right, so it is on a inverted right now. Okay, so because of that one you can see that one, right? So it have tried to break out, right? Okay, so in case if the market happens to break out from this levels, right, towards the downside, that is a good move towards the bull side, right? But in case if it happens to just fake you out in this levels, right, then again one more time we can expect the price to move on upper side. All right, that is a downside, right? Okay, so don't get confused, okay guys, I'm just inverting this move, right? Okay, so that, so in these levels what we have seen, the market have tried to clarify that retests have been clear, right, already, right? Okay, breakout and the retests have been cleared, it have stuck on upper side, and it has a good chances to correct this level one more time. All right, so this can be a retest, and one more time we can expect price moving in a downside. So let's try to invert towards the original positions, right? Okay, so market try to break out on upper side, and it is in the still. So one more time breaking up on upper side from this level is going back to the sideways one more time, whereby I will be expecting the price to move on upper side. But if it happens to get faked out in this level one more time, I will be expecting the price to move towards the downside. So hope that is clear for you all, right? So this is not a financial advice, you should know that one. So I've just given you the gist of bigger time frame, what's happening with the Bitcoin. So what is the possible things, right? Okay, it has equal opportunities on upper side as well as downside, but you should be careful in this levels, I guess, right? So in these levels, whereby you should be very careful in the planning levels, these levels, right? So most of the dirty levels it have been going through Bitcoin, right? Okay, whereby loss of noises trying to break out on upper side, again faking out on a downside, faking out on upper side, all those things are happening, right? The sideways, okay, so usually usually market try to show you one direction and it always try to move to the another directions in the sideways. We always expect something like this, but you should know that this is not a financial advice, right guys? Okay, so that's all for today, right? So manage your risks and try to plan on your own, right? So this is only what I have understood right now in this levels for a bigger time frame. That can be a big move from here to the upper side, as well as it can be a big move towards the downside as well, right? Okay, so it's up to you all. So try to know, right? Try to know the levels, right? Okay, so where in which situations you are in, right? That's going to help you a lot, right guys? Okay, that's all. Take care. Bye bye. See you all. Signing off, Dragon, all the way from Bhutan.